So I thought I'd pull up and talk a little bit about the car market. I'm here with my Golf R, as you can see behind me. I get a lot of comments from people talking about the car market, and I did a post recently. I think the car market's changing. You know, today is the 16th of May. I'm just going to try and give you my points about the car market. Cars like my Mark 7 Golf R, cars like the Mark 8 Golf R, Fiesta STs, GI Yaris, pretty much anything I've talked about, and all general cars. Basically, I put up a post on the Mark 8 Golf R and I said, you know, I think times are changing. And I generally do think they are. That Mark 8 Golf R was up for 38,990, and that's the first time I've seen one quite low. 21 plate with about 7,000 miles. Now, all these cars have been strangely trading for a bit of a list. Well, I think that time's going to start to change now. Things are going to start getting back to normal. Things are going to start coming down. As high as they go up, you know, they fall quite hard. The one thing I really want to stress to everyone who does kind of comment and watch my kind of content is, in terms of what car you should buy and what time you should buy it, entirely depends on you and your specific circumstances. The best advice that I can say to people is, if you are going to have a car and you're going to hold on to it for around 5 years, maybe even 10 years, then yeah, pretty much any time, buy it. If you're one of those people who are kind of like, you know, I want to get in and out of a car every sort of 6 months, year, 2 years, you're gonna lose money most of the time. You know, that's the main thing. The best way to kind of combat that is by getting sort of like a limited run car. So say if the Mark 8 Golf R, not my car, mine's been the Mark 7, came out of a limited run 500 car special, maybe some sort of carbon edition, that would be quite a cool car to get into. It might have a bit of a premium over normal Mark 8s, but in the long run, it should hold its money a lot better. And again, talking about the Fiesta STs, the Mark 8.5 facelifts that I drove, they're great cars, but potentially like the previous Mark 8, you know, look at the Performance Edition, look at the ST Edition, the blue one. They're limited run cars, 300 made, 600 made. They're going to hold their money so much better. Hopefully they'll do a facelift, then that facelift will basically have a limited run number. So that would be quite good. Same with pretty much all cars. That's the only car you can really get into, and you can really get into it at any time, certainly from a new perspective, and be okay. Anything else, you know, your normal bogo stuff, which pretty much every single car, if you buy new, you're going to lose money. First of all, the dealer needs to make money. The manufacturer needs to make money. The government needs to make money. There's 20% VAT on all cars. And your car's going to lose money because it loses that new factor. I always advise to people to get a 2-year-old car. Generally, that's the way. That's what I would look for. If I was looking for a Golf R, I'd look for like, next year, I'd look for a 21 plate Golf R, Mark 8, maybe with 10 to 25,000 miles, something like that, and aim to get it for sort of like 30 grand. That's where I would kind of look for. And that would be my advice in that kind of part. And that's generally what the car market is like. There's nothing that's different about it. You know, we've had completely bizarre times, and there are issues with supply chain, but you've got to remember, particularly with your 40 grand stuff, people just aren't walking around with this kind of cash. You know, yes, you can get finance deals, but you're still paying that huge amount of money, plus the APR, the interest that you are. If you've got like 7% APR on a 40 grand car, you've put in say 10 grand, which is a lot, by the way, so you're financing 30 grand, then you've got to pay 7% over the years that you're having it, so you're paying more than the price in the first place. So it's a lose-lose situation. The dealer and the manufacturer always win. So when people ask me about when is the best time to get the car, I cannot confirm to you at all. I've had the car that I'm sitting in for 5 years. I bought it outright in cash. I was quite happy with the price I paid. I paid about 24 grand for it. I got it 3 months old from a VW dealer as an ex-demonstrator, about 5,500 miles on it. I saved about 8-9 grand from what it would have cost new. I got it because the facelift 7.5 Golf R came out, and I took advantage that they just wanted to shift this stock. I took advantage that they wanted someone to get onto a PCP deal and end up paying sort of like over 30 grand. So yeah, I was able to just sort of walk in and get it. And I had the aim in my mind that I'd keep the car for 5-10 years. Which is exactly what I've had, and you've seen it on the channel, and I love the car and I'll keep it forever if I have to. And if it does come a time to get rid of it, I will look in the same kind of philosophy as I've done before. You know, a couple of years old, let someone else take the hit of the money. Don't you take the hit, unless you can afford to do so. You know, if you earn 6 figures, then just buy a car whenever you want. But if you're earning sort of like 25-30 grand, first of all, I probably wouldn't advise you getting something like a Mark 8 Golf R. Even the Fiesta ST, the Mark 8's 26 grand. I mean, you're paying your year's salary. before tax. So it's not even after tax to then get your car. So it's your own personal situation. That's one thing I will say. One thing that I'm going to stress, from today's date, the 16th of May, car market is going to start coming back to normal, 100%. I've already reckoned it's the same with my car. My car was probably worth maybe 6 months ago, or even 3 or 4 months ago, about 20 grand, which is quite a lot for this. Maybe 21, maybe from a main dealer you might see it up for say 22, 23, maybe heading towards even 24,000 pounds, which is crazy because that's what I paid for it 5 years ago. But nothing lasts forever. Everything comes down, particularly something like this. My biggest recommendation is for people to get something like a well-sorted Mark 7 Golf R, because they've already taken their hit on so much of their money. Keep an eye on the car market. You know, at the end of the day, be in control of kind of your own choice. Don't wait for anyone to sort of like make a decision for you. Don't wait for like a PCP agreement to end and then you have to get into another car. You know, do it for you, do it for the right thing, and do it for a purpose as well. Get your car for a reason. Don't just get it because it's the latest, newest thing. It's gonna go out of date in like a couple of months. Get it for a reason. I've had this car and I've loved it. Driving it, I've loved it. I've done 40,000 miles and it's been brilliant. And, you know, if you're one of those people who have those cars and only drive them, you know, 1,000, 2,000 miles, yes, your car's going to hold more money, but you've lost the value in the sense that you know, what is a car designed to do? Drive you places, take you, your family places. Look, it's got back seats, does everything. That's a value, an intrinsic value in itself of a car, which people do forget. Yeah, a bit of a ranty video, but a little bit hopefully about the car market. But from this date, I think the car prices will come down on most things. And yeah, you never really win in the car market, particularly for you and me. You know, that's kind of why I share it. Dealer always wins. They have to win, otherwise they'd be out of business. End of story. Literally, end of story. I'm keeping my eye out because when everyone's buying things and the market's, you know, hot like it was in the last year because everyone was getting all excited, yeah, that's a good time to either hold or sell. I went with the option of holding and I'm quite happy with my decision. Same with all investments. It works out in the exact same way, and it's just what I do generally in the last couple of years. When everyone's selling, the best point is to buy. So maybe towards now, May the 16th, towards the end of the year as we get into Christmas time, might be a good time to pick up a really good bargain of a car, particularly something maybe limited. I mean, I've been looking at stuff for maybe around sort of like the £5,000 mark, because I'd love to take my own personal car on track. I've done so many track experiences. One thing I'd like to do, if you've got any suggestions, let me know in the comments below. I've been thinking like a Mark 6 Fiesta ST, maybe an ST 500, something limited like that. But yeah, any comments, let me know. But hopefully that helps and gives you a little bit of an overview. Had a few questions back on that community post and I appreciate all of your advice and things like that. I only posted it up yesterday. I think someone asked me about testing other cars as well. All the cars on my channel that I've tested has been from subscribers. I don't get any help from any manufacturers or anyone else. Just one time I managed to get a chance to go down to a Hyundai drive day. So if you see any like the i30Ns, the i20Ns, that was from the manufacturer. They were UK press cars. Everything else has been from you guys, and that's really helped out, and I massively value your help with that. So get involved, drop me a DM on Instagram. You know, I'm not a scary guy, you know, I'm just a normal bloke. Even if you just want to show me your car, if it's something special, and I'll put it up on the channel, details in the description, and hopefully this has helped you out. But any advice that you guys have, please feel free to put them in the comments. But one thing I would say, to end it on, a car is not an investment, it is a liability. You can mitigate the amount you're going to lose, which is kind of what I've hoped I've done with my car, but fundamentally it's a depreciating asset. And if you're financing a depreciating asset, you're financing the top end of that and you're losing even more. It's a lose-lose. Accept to yourself that you're going to lose a lot of money when you buy a car, and you have to have the income to survive it. Whether you have different passive incomes, or, you know, I would advise people getting multiple incomes, to be honest with you, particularly in this day and age. That's kind of how I've been running things. Off the topic of cars, I really do love them and enjoy them.